Aliyah, and I'm about to show you guys how to do the alternative definition of derivatives. So the alternative definition of derivatives is defined as the f prime of x is equal to the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. So in this part, it just means that for every x, you have to replace it with x plus delta x. So to further explain this, I'm gonna show you guys some examples. So our first example is f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 and x is equal to 1. So again, our formula is the f prime of x is equal to the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. The first thing we're gonna do is to substitute the x with x plus delta x. So it will become the limit of 2 times x plus delta x plus 1 minus the original function, which is 2x plus 1 over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. So we'll have to distribute the 2 to x and delta x, which will give us the limit of 2x plus 2 delta x plus 1 minus the original function, which is 2x plus 1 over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. So we can just cancel 2x and 1 out, because if you do the operation manually, 2x minus 2x is 0 and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we can just cancel them out. So cancel 2x and 2x, 1 and 1. And now we're left with the limit of 2 delta x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. And we can still simplify this by making it into delta x times 2 over delta x and just cancel delta x out. And so the answer is 2. So another example is f of x is equal to 6x squared plus 4x minus 2 and x is equal to negative 1. Again, we have to substitute the x with x plus delta x, and we will get the limit of 6 times x plus delta x squared plus 4 times x plus delta x minus 2 minus the original function, which is 6x squared plus 4x minus 2 over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Then we need to expand x plus delta x squared, so we will get the limit of 6 times x squared plus 2x delta x plus delta x squared. Plus, we need to distribute the 4 into x and delta x, so plus 4x plus 4 delta x minus 2 minus the original function 6x squared plus 4x minus 2 over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Then we need to distribute the 6. So we will get the limit of 6x squared plus 12x delta x plus 6 delta x squared plus 4x plus 4 delta x minus 2 minus the original function 6x squared plus 4x minus 2 over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. Again, we can just cancel 6x squared, 4x, and negative 2 because 6x squared minus 6x squared is 0, 4x minus 4x is 0, and negative 2 minus negative 2 is 0. So cancel 6x squared out, 4x, and negative 2. Now, we're left with the limit of 12x delta x plus 6 delta x squared plus 4 delta x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0. To simplify this, we'll make it delta x times 12x plus 6 delta x plus 4 over delta x, and just cancel delta x out. And now, we're only left with the limit of 12x plus 6 delta x plus 4 as delta x approaches to 0. So we know that x is equal to negative 1 and delta x is equal to 0. So we'll just substitute them. So 12 times negative 1 plus 6 times 0 plus 4, and we will get the answer negative 8. And that's it! I hope you guys learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Bye!